unless he gets a lot smarter, a lot quicker.
So,
Mr. President?
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you a recap of the very first and possibly last, if the left have their way, debate between President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. Now, straight from the beginning, I thoroughly enjoyed this debate. Now, I know right now, some of you guys are saying, hey, ABL, how could you enjoy that? That was a dumpster fire. That was a mess. Nobody won. The American people lost. It was so much over talking and loud talking and wrong talking, all this, that, and the third. I understand your point, and I can see that to a certain extent, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I was able to gain a lot from the debate. It kind of solidified what I've already known, but it just put it out there in public. It was good to see the president in contrast to the former vice president on the same stage. I enjoyed it. And I'm going to tell you why I enjoyed it. I'm going to get to some of the key points that happened throughout the debate. Elephant in the room for me is Chris Wallace, the so-called moderator. It was just three guys on stage, Trump, Biden, Chris Wallace. And I feel like there was a three-way debate. I was saying that halfway through the actual debate on my Twitters, because, you know, I streamed it live and I was also live tweeting. I was like, okay, you got 2-on-1 happening here. You have Chris Wallace teaming up with Joe Biden to debate Donald Trump. So people said that Trump interrupted too much. He was being too aggressive. Well, what are you going to do when you're being attacked 2-on-1? Now, could he have backed off sometimes? Yes. You know, towards the beginning, especially as the debate wore on, he did less interruption. All right. And the reality is, once you look at the actual talk time, they were pretty much equal. Speaking about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, I think Trump only spoke about 1 minute and 10 seconds more than Joe Biden. It was pretty much equal. It was like 39 minutes for Trump and 38 minutes for Joe Biden. So this whole thing about, oh, Trump spoke too much interruption, the final numbers are pretty much the same between the two of them. All right, that's that. But beyond that, we got to go back to Chris Wallace. He did not do a very good job moderating. Sometimes it got kind of out of control. He couldn't really handle it because of the overtalk, and I understand that point. But he was giving a bunch of loaded questions to Donald Trump and not so much to Joe Biden, okay? And I think we knew that might happen. There was a meme online I shared a few days ago where it had Chris Wallace in it. And then one question to Trump was, how are you going to cure cancer? How are you going to cure Ebola? How are you going to come up with a way to reach Mars in 15 days? And then with Joe Biden, it was like, what's your favorite ice cream color? It was not to that extent. It wasn't that extreme, but I kind of was getting those vibes to where he was lobbing them softballs at Joe Biden, but giving, you know, a Randy Johnson fast pitch, 99 miles an hour, you know, right over the barely in the strike zone and telling them hit a home run every single time. That's kind of the way I felt. Okay. A prime example is the whole thing about Proud Boys. I'm going to get straight into it because that's kind of on my mind. Chris Wallace asked Donald Trump to denounce white supremacy and white nationalists again. I feel like Trump gets asked this question every few months and he keeps answering it the same way. Do you denounce white supremacy? Do you denounce white nationalists? He said sure twice, not once, but twice. Yes, he does. But then Chris Wallace got into this whole thing of trying to rope in other things and other people. Okay, do you denounce white supremacy and white nationalism, but also Portland and Kenosha and your supporters? It's like, whoa, wait a minute now. You can't just say, you know, Kenosha, Wisconsin, because now you're trying to say Kyle Rittenhouse, a guy who defended himself from being attacked by the Antifa people out there, is a white supremacist. How are you a white person being attacked by white people and being seen as a white supremacist or a white nationalist? How does it make any sense? Where have you seen anything about Kyle Rittenhouse being a white nationalist? I've not seen any paraphernalia, social media posts, witness accounts, nothing like that. Okay. So where would you even get that? You're trying to, you know, you're trying to ask these really loaded questions. and you're not doing that with Joe Biden. That's why Trump interrupted to say, wait a minute, hold on. What about Antifa? They're out here in the streets. They're killing people. They're burning stuff down. Let's talk about that. And then that was kind of off limits to Chris Wallace and to Joe Biden. Wallace Biden, that ticket, whoever's running for president, that was off limits for them. So they didn't want to answer that. There was quite a few times where Chris Wallace came to Joe Biden's rescue. At one particular point in the debate, Trump was saying that no law enforcement organizations support Joe Biden. And then he asked Joe, hey, name one group that supports you. Just name one. Give me one example. And, Biden was just kind of fishing. And Chris Wallace came and said today, I was like, yet again, Joe Biden gets saved by the Chris Wallace bill. All right. He did not have an answer. He was pretty much fishing, and he got saved by Chris Wallace. He was bailed out by Chris Wallace. Even Pete Hegseth on Fox News said that Joe Biden kept getting bailed out. And that was a fact. That was a big time fact. And speaking about this whole thing, white supremacists, white nationalists, Joe Biden brought up the Proud Boys and asked Trump to, I guess, denounce them. And then Trump said, stand down and stand back, something like that. There was a whole big thing in the media about that. Like he was saying, oh, Proud Boys, you guys just hold on. When I need you, I'll call you. As if there's some kind of white supremacist violent group. First of all, they're not white supremacists. You could criticize them, I suppose, just for being out there involved in some of these fights. But you can't say they're white supremacists. The guy that leads them, Enrique Tarrio, is not white. I've met him before, actually, in Miami. He's not a white guy, real nice guy, too. And they're a multiracial organization aside from Enrique Tarrio, who's the leader. So this whole thing about them being a white supremacist organization is just not the reality. There was one part of the debate, they were talking about masks and wearing masks. And Trump had a mask in his pocket. He was like, hey, I'll wear it whenever I need to, whenever it makes sense. But this guy over here, Biden, is wearing a mask everywhere. And you see him, he had the biggest mask you've ever seen in your life. Even Chris Wallace had to laugh at that one. That was a funny moment. There was a moment where Trump made a joke, even Joe Biden laughed at it. So, Biden and Chris Wallace were kind of like overshadowed by Trump's dominance. Although some may see that as Trump being domineering, I did not see it that way. Of course, you had to bring up Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, and the cocaine and the $3.5 million that he got allegedly from the Moscow mayor's wife or from the mayor themselves. So that was a really key moment. It's like, wait a minute, you talking about me and doing all this, that, and the third. What about Hunter Biden and the cocaine and being a barista and all this kind of stuff like that? You want to answer that? And Biden didn't really answer it. He just said that it's false. It's not really true. But he did come out and say that his son had a drug problem. So it's like, okay, you admit that your son had a drug problem. How was he in the military, got kicked out with the drug problem, and then got on the board of Burisma Holdings and was getting plenty of money from Ukraine and then got money from Russia? You want to talk about me, Russia, Russia, Russia. What about you and your family? Not only Russia, but China as well. Speaking about Russia and China, Biden was talking about how many numbers we have in America that have the virus, people that have contracted it, died or whatever. And he's saying something about, oh, well, we have 5% of the world's population, but 20% of the world's COVID deaths. And Trump was like, well, wait a minute. Are you believing India? Are you believing Russia? Are you believing China and their numbers that they give you or their lack thereof? How can you really say that? Yes, we have 5% of the world's population, but we're also one of the top 5 largest countries in population in the world. So, I mean, you got to put things in proper context, okay? Aside from China and India, it's pretty much us as biggest population. Russia's not even as big as us. They're like 125, 150 million people versus our 350 million people. So you got to put things in its proper context. I thought that was a very good point. I like how Trump hit Joe Biden on the Green New Deal because Biden was saying things as relates to climate change that are pretty much just word for word in the Green New Deal. And he was hammering down on how much it would cost. $100 trillion. You know how much money that is? It'll take the United States years to even see that kind of money, let alone be able to actually pay it. The GDP of the whole world every year is less than $100 trillion. So that's not any small amount of money. It was strange because Biden was like, well, I don't support the Green New Deal. That's not my plan. But in the same breath, he defended the Green New Deal, saying, oh, it's not going to cost that much. So it's like, okay, you're going to defend it and then talk about how much it costs, or you're going to say that's not my plan. Which one is it? Okay, it was really strange. Also, a funny but strange moment is when Biden said that he is the Democratic Party. That kind of reminded me of Captain Phillips in the whole scene. I'm the captain now. That was pretty weird. Also, the free transition as I close. They keep asking Trump, and when I say they, I mean the mainstream media, Chris Wallace, Joe Biden, MSDNC, CNN, et cetera. They say, hey, are you going to accept, the results of the election? Will it be a free and fair transition from one administration to the next? And Trump made a very good point about the left not having a free and fair transition, okay? Right when he even announced that he was going to run, there was automatically, this whole thing in place to prevent him from coming in there. Right when he said he was going to run, when he came down the escalator in Trump Tower, the left and some of the right were conspiring against him to keep him out of the White House. Okay, they spied on his campaign. That was under Obama. That was under that whole team over there. All right. And then after the election, after he won, you had the whole Russia collusion thing. That lasted for years. Then you have the whole Ukraine thing. They've not accepted the election results, and we're into the next election already. So if we're going to say free and fair transition, ask them. They should be the main ones that are brought under the microscope, not me. I thought it was a good moment. Overall, I enjoyed the debate. I was able to see how Joe Biden behaves in that kind of environment. Will it be a sense of the pressure? Can he, think quick on his feet? And the answer is no. He cannot think quick on his feet, but Trump obviously can. The level of, ability to debate was seen. The ability to cook on your feet, to come back with a quick retort, it was on display, and Trump had the advantage. Some said, oh, Trump should have prepared. How do you prepare for a debate? Do you have the questions in advance? Word on the street was that Biden already had the questions. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's false. I'm not really sure. But at the end of the day, I think it was Trump that won. Some say nobody won. We all lost as the American people. We all lost. I don't believe in that. I think Trump most certainly won. Was it perfect? No, of course not. But he won. Biden did not look good out there on the stage. He looked really old. He looked really tired. And Trump was the opposite. Just off that alone, I think Trump won. And I think Trump made plenty of solid points throughout. If I missed anything, you guys let me know in the comments below. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Trump won the debate? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or do you think Biden won the debate? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Did nobody win? What's going on? You guys know where I stand. I think Trump definitely won. He could have interrupted less towards the beginning, but like I said, the talk time was nearly equal. So I think it pretty much evened out as the debate wore on. Joe Biden was not really ready for this. All they could do was just read his paper and look straight into the camera and give kind of a speech. But that's not what a debate is. A debate is going back and forth, arguing, over talking. That's what it is, right? I mean, unless you're going to just have, I give a statement, you give a statement, and you can't cross-talk or have any kind of free and open interaction. I enjoy the free and open interaction. I look forward to their next debate, if they have one, which they should, and also the VP debate between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris. Mike Pence will tear Kamala Harris to pieces, and that's a fact. You might need to have a referee in there to throw in a towel on that one. And this one, you probably need to do the same thing, because at a certain point, Joe Biden was getting stomped in the wine and nobody was able to stop it. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.